The tale of the giants. We have many such tales throughout mythology, throughout ancient Ireland, ancient Britain, the ancient Norse and Germanic tales, and even ancient Native American folklore. Throughout ancient Asia and the Middle East, we have tales of giant. The Native Americans spoke of giants reaching 30 to 40, 50 feet tall, with 2 rows of front teeth and 6 fingers. This is very unlikely. Now, most tales are told by religious extremists who don't take into the account of the Bible's mistranslations and its change. The tales of David and Goliath, the height of Goliath has changed throughout multiple different accounts. The word nephlim actually means fallen ones, and this was later would be developed into the story of the fallen angels. So they were separate to what we see as the giants, and I'll explain this throughout Genesis 6 to 4, and I'll show a different translation from the Bible, good news, compared to the Torah. Now, we're going to begin it here. In those days, and even later, there were giants on the earth, who were descendants of human women and the heavenly beings. They were the great heroes and famous men of long ago. Now we'll read it from the Torah. The Nephilim were in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of Jehovah had relations with the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. The same were the mighty men that were of old, the men of renown. You can see here that they're separate. Now, again, this is due to mistranslations. So their descendants were the ones of renown, such tales that could explain, such as Hercules and etc. like this. Now, we have conspiracy theorist. Now, the word conspiracy theorist or conspiracy theory was actually invented by the CIA to label anyone that spoke up against them. But take in mind that government figures have also spread some of this propaganda to mislead people, to keep them away from the real shit. Now, for instance, we have a story of a red-haired giant fighting some American soldiers and being killed. This was a con interview, not real. And the same person who made this interview also wrote a book. Now, the story of the Smithsonian Institute destroying bones was also a fake news story. I once believed this once I actually found out where it come from. It come from World News Daily Report, which is known for making fake news stories and even tells you that their stories are fake. And this story included that there was a lawsuit of battling the American Institute of Alternate Archaeology that lost in the courts, and they were made to declassify these reports. This is a false story. Now we have the tales of the giants that were found in Lovelock Cave. Now, what they don't tell you here is most of these were regular humans, 6 foot tall, 6 inches, which was tall back then. Now, they show in dating that the cave was occupied from 2000 BC to 900 AD. Now, one specimen's DNA was tracked back to Central Asia, which he was lived around 1,800 years ago. So he'll be a regular human, just giant. And then we take into ones that were found that were 8 foot tall, etc. These were different species of human. So evolution. So we have accounts of newspaper scams in the 1900s. This was now our version of clickbait. And many larger skulls they were showing. Some were just different species of humans. Some were just leg bones that just appeared to be larger and people could take them as giants. But really, these were just regular human bones. Now, we also have many fake accounts in these newspaper scams, including an old sculpture that was proven to be a fake, that was made to look like a mummified human, or one that was covered in ash, like the bodies found in Pompeii that were covered in volcanic ash. But these ones were fake. The ones from Pompeii, they're real, but they're regular people. But long story short, now, translation errors have played a big part in this, especially pushed on by religious extremists, which a lot of them are also conspiracy theorists too. It's like the flat earth community, many of which are Christians. So again, this is because of outdated beliefs and this whole idea of the flat earth. This was Christian propaganda by St. Augustine that was eventually pushed on by the Catholic Church, now burning anyone that said the world wasn't flat. So it was to keep people controlled. Now, on my channel, I like to speak the truth and wake others up so people don't fall for such stories. Now, as I said in one of my oldest videos, I mentioned about that Smithsonian story, but now I will tell you that's a fake story. And some stories even have the Vatican getting involved. Now, the Vatican has done some dodgy shit, but not so much in the findings of skeletons, more in findings of ancient Christian texts that don't fit their point of view. They're known to try and hide, in a sense, from the public view. It doesn't mean they're grabbing them and hiding them, though they have been caught trying to use tomb robbers, in a sense, to smuggle stuff out of, say, Egypt. But that's about all. But that was ancient text. Now, this could also be because of there were many people acting like Indiana Jones, going through ancient sites and selling off artifacts and ancient scriptures to private collectors. Now, this is also illegal, but these countries are very poor. So this could essentially lift someone out of poverty. So this is one reason why many texts get destroyed, because of mishandling. But again, this is a different subject. Now, evolution. People say that we hide giants because it will disprove evolution. Well, no, our evolution can support the theory there were bigger humans. But we haven't found these so-called remains. Many remains that were taller than us were different species of humans, such as modern humans. Well, that's the label of them now. I was taught they were Cro-Magnon men. Now, again, names change. Also, that of Homo erectus was a bit taller than us. Neanderthals were more stockier and more muscular than us. So their skulls were bigger, though we were mostly taller than them. So it shows that throughout these remains, it leaves open to the view of imagination. So peace and love, everyone. I love you all. Connect to one mind and soul. Namaste.